I failed my ARCP. ARCP stands for Annual Review of Competencies Progression. So this is like a revalidation that we use when we're in training, and I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it actually. I was like, how is this happening to me? So when I say fail, I don't know, it's not really failing, because I've made another video on the different outcomes of ARCP, which I will link down below up above, and you can go check that out. But the ideal outcome you want for ARCP, if you're in training, is outcome 1. Outcome 1 means satisfactory progress. It means you're achieving all your competencies as expected and everything is going well. So that's what I had gotten before, outcome 1, and I was expecting the same, but I did not. Then the absolute best case scenario is outcome 6, which means that you have completed all your competencies and now you're finished and you are ready to CCT. Or that's get a certificate of completion of training. So when I say failed, for me it wasn't really a fail, because I got outcome 5, and outcome 5 means you have inadequate evidence presented. Yeah, so the form says incomplete evidence presented, additional training might be required. So that means that they just give you additional time, and it might be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it depends. But for me, they actually gave me 8 weeks. A really long time. They gave me a long time, which was a bit annoying initially, but actually I'm so glad they did. What happened for me is that there's a few reasons why I ended up with this outcome. So I was missing 4 things. I was missing a case presentation, I was missing a journal club presentation, I was missing a mini part, and also 1 CBD. So the things I would blame really are, number 1, my own negligence and just taking things too lightly. Like, there's a way I was feeling like I passed all my exams, so I don't know, I didn't feel like any of these were a big deal. Like, I felt like, I don't know, it's going to be fine. Like, the hardest part is the exams, so I just felt like these other things will be okay. And also I was misled by other people. Like, other people talk as if, oh no, it's going to be fine, don't worry about it. So the main thing is my own, I think, not being too much. I was not so much concentrating. Secondly, I was doing a lot. The reason why I wasn't concentrating so much is that I was doing a lot. I was so busy. Like, I was doing an MSc in psychiatry, which is optional, and I since dropped out of that. I was like, I don't have time for this. Like, just enough already. Imagine I had to do a dissertation, I had to do assignments, I had to do too much. On top of working full time, on top of having 3 kids, on top of being a content creator. So I do make YouTube videos, I do things on Instagram, I do all kinds of things. Like, my life was just too busy. And yeah, so that's what happened. I dropped a ball, and the time to about to be the ARCP one. So for instance, I was missing 1 CBD, and that's just, it was just a mistake, because at that time I was in, so I'm now in CT3, but imagine I'm not yet even, like, I'm still waiting for my ARCP, which was postponed. At the time the video comes out, I should have crossed officially over to CT3, but I had opened my CT3 folder in the portfolio, and I was now collecting CBDs, things like collecting workplace-based assessments under my CT3 folder, because I knew I had finished most of the CT2 ones. So including a CBD, I just didn't see. You're required to have, I think, 4 CBDs, and I had done 3. So that was just my own mistake. The second thing is a mini part. I also just didn't see. Imagine. There's a way sometimes when you click on the portfolio, it kind of like shows as if things are there when they are not. Like, it duplicates things. So the mini part was appearing as a 1 and another 1, when actually it should be 2. So you need to have 2 mini parts in each year. So I had only 1 for CT2, and that was again my own mistake, that I just didn't realize that. The other 2 things that I was aware of was journal club presentation and case presentation. So for me, what happened is that I had my case presentation on a date where there was a strike, and so the academic program that day was cancelled, and it was rescheduled again to another date, and then there was a strike on that day as well. And then again, like, it happened to me 3 times. And then for my journal club too, my journal club presentation on the day it was supposed to be, again, strike, and so it was cancelled. I was like, what? It was just bad luck. So those 2 things I was aware of, and I did email my TPD in advance and told them that I'm so sorry, I'm really struggling with getting the case presentation and journal club because they keep getting cancelled. So even when they told me, when they gave me outcome 5, they indicated that actually for the journal club bit and the case presentation, it was like the kind of forgiven me, sort of, like, that one is okay, but the mini part is really important. And the CBD, so altogether it became too many things. And so I had to fill everything again. I mean, do a mini part, and you know, a mini part takes 28 days. So that's another reason why I think they gave me like 2 months. They gave me enough time. And that's my lesson, guys. That's what I learned. So what I learned is that you really need to be on it, and don't just try and take things for granted, because they will need them. Because, for instance, one of the things that I've seen recently is an addiction CBD and an addiction ACE, which I have not done yet, but I know I have to do them because they came up when I was already halfway through my training. And so it's unfortunate for me, but I can't risk it and say that, oh, maybe they'll forgive me, because what if they don't? And yet I need to finish and move on with my life because I have been a core trainee for what feels like forever. Although it's only been, this is my 4th year, like since 2020 I've been in core training, but then I took off to maternity leave, if you didn't know that. So really it's not that much time that it's been, it hasn't been that much time. I hope you have all your workplace-based assessments. Have you done everything? Have you got everything on track, as well as your reflections, your leader form, all that? If you want to know all the workplace-based assessments you can expect, then watch this video here in which I talked about all of them.